And here we are with the Nothing But Net Hooked on Hoops podcast, brought to you by Hoops Flicks Plus and powered by
Pangos.
Now we're going to talk about the Frosh Soph All-West Camp here in Long Beach. It just happened this past weekend. Me, your co-host, Patrick Pratt, along with co-host Dinos Dragonis, was there. I was reffing on Saturday, and then I ended up announcing on Sunday, so I got a good look at the talent. And Dinos, you were there. I know you was looking at the talent as well. We also have from Ball is Life, Ronnie Flores here. He's going to help break down the camp we just had this past weekend in Long Beach, the Pangos All-West Frosh Camp.
First of all, I want to commend you. I don't know where you pulled that out of your closet or your storage unit, but that 2005
20 years
full court press lead guard camp T-shirt, it's kind of holding on for dear life there. But people don't realize that same camp we had then 8th or 9th graders, Drew Holiday, Brandon Jennings, Larry Drew, and DeMar DeRozan. So it brings back a lot of very good memories.
Yeah, I have to commend you on whoever you got to make these shirts. You got some good qualities. 20 years and lasting.
Okay.
No holes.
Very, very impressive. Speaking of the All-West Camp Pangos, we've been doing this camp since 2004, I believe. Aaron Aflalo, who was a sophomore at the time, high school sophomore. And now he's played in the league double-figure years and retired, and probably a grandfather by now.
Hey,
all we know.
He was a student of mine at Centennial High School. We used to bet on, when Jordan came back, I bet him $5 that Jordan would get 20 points. He got 19, so I still owe him $5. Don't say nothing.
Well, the beauty of this camp, a lot of new faces, a lot of guys that we may have heard their names, but not really seen their game. Off the bat, PJ Parker was there last year. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember him that much. Ronnie had him in his final rankings from last year, I believe at number 34 as a freshman.
Yeah.
This year he skyrocketed and was the MVP. Played a lot like Kevin McHale, Grant Jarrett, Derek Lively. A lot of elements of all three of those players. Was very impressive, not just with his production, but his effort, his energy, his physicality, and was constantly in motion, constantly giving max energy. And it showed start to finish. And he was a pretty consensus choice as the MVP of the camp overall, although there were some other guys that may have had a case to be made, but he was a worthy MVP. And I think out of Sacramento, McClatchy High School, and he's got a chance to be, when it's all said and done, one of the best bigs on the West Coast in that class.
I got some comments on him, but you can go talk about him first, Rodney.
Oh, yeah. To follow up on your comments, Dinos, I think, like you mentioned, I think 34 was fair last year. Like you said, he was just with the pack. And then this year, he's grown 2 or 3 inches. He admittedly said he has trouble putting on weight, so he's getting stronger. Pat, sometimes when guys are young, they can't get the strength and the weight up, even no matches they try. He's progressing in that area in terms of his physicality and his strength. And just his approach to the game, like you mentioned, there was other guys that could have been quite worthy of the running to be the MVP. But I think your panel, Dinos, chose the right guy from start to finish. I think he's well deserving. I think by far he was the best at, Pat, and you can talk a little bit about this. A lot of guys need the ball, or they need to have volume or get a lot of shots to stand out in an environment like this. But he didn't. There was times where he didn't get the ball at all, but he was still probably the most productive player. And I think that's where the Kevin McHale reference comes in, where you talk about efficiency and, maybe average playing at an all-star level in the NBA, but not having the green light, so to speak, or having the ball in his hands with playing with the guys of the caliber that McHale did, but he still put up, Hall of Fame numbers. So I think that's where this camp where PJ was the difference, where he didn't always need the ball. He didn't complain. If there was turnovers, he still got back on defense. If he went stretches without the ball, he went and go get offensive rebounds, and that was the difference.
Great attitude. I refereed him
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday before the All-Star games. He didn't complain one time. There was some fouls that I could have gave him, but he played right through them. He doesn't really have a big build, but I couldn't tell because he wasn't thwarted by any of the defense, the hacks. He just kept going. He can turn over the left shoulder, the right shoulder, not from distance yet, but just in that around the basket area. Like you said, he was active without getting many touches from being fed in the post, but he crashed the boards on both ends. No complaints, great attitude. I told him, I said, man, you would have been to the foul line many more times than what happened in this camp. So I appreciate that you kept playing hard like that.
Sure.
And he was solid in the All-Star game, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 for 7 from the field. But it was his play during the camp games. I mean, he from start to finish. That was impressive. And another guy, obviously 2 other guys that were named as co-MVPs of the top 30 game. Mamadou Issaso from CIA Bella Vista, Arizona, a Senegal kid, 9th grade. Very similar to another Bella Vista guy, 6'10", junior.
Yeah, the guy who's there now. Is that?
I'm drawing a blank for my guy's name.
Yeah, and he's been to your events and he's done very well.
It'll come back to you, but Mamadou was active. I couldn't believe he was in the 9th grade. Shit, I thought he was not in college or almost the NBA.
He got an NBA body right now.
Yeah, he was catching lobs and reverse dunking and holding down the paint defensively. He's an excellent prospect, I feel.
And he had in the All-Star game, very productive, efficient, 7 for 8 from the field, even had a 3. 1 or 2 from the 3. 5 rebounds, 15 points. He even had tossed an assist there. 2 block shots, 2 block shots, 3 steals. You know, impacted the game, winning team. He was on the winning white team. On the black team was one of the most impressive guards at the camp, one of the top freshman guards in the country, Philip Reed Jr. from Compton, California, going to Palisades High School right now. A guy whose poise is impressive beyond measure. His ability to play both sides of the ball and impact the game for a young player is terrific. And his poise, his composure, his ability to score but be unselfish, his ability to defend on the ball, off the ball, his reaction to the ball is terrific. I mean, Philip Reed becomes the premier point guards in that class. And we had 2 other ones there right with him at this camp. Kwali Garan, who's smooth, terrific scorer, great scoring instincts, great ability to shift and elude defenders, and a kid from Bishop Gorman who has an older brother playing for varsity. Brevin Johnson reminded me of Raymond Felton. That's the kid with the headband, Pat.
Yeah, I remember him.
Kind of, Devin Uglin, who was there when Scotch were there, called him the most dynamic guard there, and he had a strong case for that. His ability and strength, quickness off the dribble, his athletic ability, even at 6 foot. He had a 3 to end the half in the All-Star game. A very good All-Star game as well. So Brevin Johnson, Kwali Garan, and Philip Reed, those are 3 high major guards there that, whether it's West Coast schools or nationwide, need to pay attention to, because those kids are potentially impact high major guards in 5 years.
Hey, Phil Reed, his younger coach, Jimmy Burton, told me to call him Fill Him Up Reed. He said, call him Fill Him Up Reed, watch him start balling. And I said it, and he started putting up numbers. So, yeah, he's very mature. I've watched him. I've reffed him a couple of years at the AAU circuit, and he's always been mature, always.
And he has a terrific work ethic, too. I mean, his desire to work out, to get better, his attitude, his personality. I mean, very coachable. I've never really seen him get frustrated or take it out on teammates. He's got a bright future. I mean, I can't say enough about him. I can't say enough about Kwalik Garan. Terrific kid. Great work ethic. Loves the game, and it shows. But his skill level, his craftiness to create his own shot is top shelf. And then obviously we talked about Brevin Johnson.
Yeah,
Those three guards right there are as good as it gets right now in 2029.
I hope Brevin Johnson wearing some pads under his shorts because he falls down a lot. I don't want him to all them falls to take his toll because he'd go to the hole and fall down. Nobody touched him. Like people went to call, said, nah, he fell on his own. But I gave him a couple of calls because he was tight going to the basket.
And let's talk about some other kids too that are. There was a lot of people to talk about. Kid out of Sandra Day O'Connor High School in Arizona, Phoenix suburbs. Terrence Bird. My first real long look at him reminded me kind of a Darian Williams, Paul Pierce type of forward, confident scorer, athletic, can score through contact.
Oh, he's got
score from distance.
He's got moxie. He's got a heck of an attitude. I heard him out there while I was reffing him. He was verbal.
And a guy who actually had, I thought, looking back on it, had a claim for the top player on the camp as well. I mean, he was very, very impressive.
Yeah.
And any other guys you want to bring up, Ronnie? There's so many.
Yeah, those are all great names. They all have good futures in the high school game. I think Troy Arthun, if I pronounce his name correctly, from Chaminade and West Hills in the Valley.
Yeah, he played.
He had a great camp. 6'6", 6'7". He just kept playing. We were kind of joking that he played like Tom Gugliotta, the former Minnesota Timberwolves forward, and he did play like him, and he played well in that setting, and hopefully he has a great sophomore year. He's a 228, 6'6", 6'7" out of Chaminade. Can't remiss not to mention Omar Dabo, who went up against Mamadou Issasau right at the beginning of the camp. They kind of played toe-to-toe, neck-to-neck.
At San Gabriel Academy?
San Gabriel Academy. He's 6'8". He was a starter last year, and he's getting better all the time.
For state championship team.
Yeah, state championship team. And I was trying to think during the camp who he reminded me of, and we were kind of talking about his rebounding and his big hands and the way he moves. He kind of moves a former Florida Gator forward, Donnell Harvey, where he's just a strictly power guy inside. He's going to get better. Obviously, new age player. He's got more perimeter skills than Donnell did back then. But that's the type of hands and arms and length and strength he had around the basket. Just no nonsense. Again, if he was able to play the second day in the All-Star game, he would have been right there in the running for, right there with Sal or right there with PJ Parker for honors in the camp.
And we had
Go ahead.
We had a good depth of forwards too. I mean, and a variety of forwards, not just from California, beyond California too. I mean, Ruch Goni from Bella Vista, CIA. He was there last year. And again, another guy like PJ Parker, the level of improvement from a year ago is remarkable. He was one of the best rim protectors, shot blockers, rim runners, his agility and transition. He's got great upside, 6'8", sophomore. The kid from Colorado, Marcellus Duncan, 6'5", strong, well-built, good scorer. From Rangeview in Aurora, Colorado. He's a high major in the making. There was a lot of good players that aren't household names yet that I'm very high on. And obviously, Tayshawn Bozeman, one of the better guards there, from a very well-established program, Northern California. Salesian, coached by Bill Mellis, another Greek, Pat, by the way, one of the best coaches, high school coaches in California. And I'm not just saying that because he's Greek. So, and the kid from Oregon, Happy Valley, Leo Onishchenko, 6'6", kind of like a Luke. He reminds you of the kid who played for Oregon Ducks, Luke.
Rittenauer.
Not Luke Rittenauer, the other Luke Jackson.
Luke Jackson.
And then.
Yeah, Leo was a very good player.
I mean, in the list,
There's a lot of names to discuss.
Larry Jenkins. We had a kid from New York, Archbishop Stepanek, one of the premier programs in New York. He showed up, reminded me a little bit style-wise of Jaden McDaniels, kind of long, skilled kid with upside. Another kid who had 33 on Sunday, Ronnie, the freshman from Chaminade, West Hills. Braylon Sherwood, the kid with the afro, reminded me of Josh Childress, like a Josh Childress type forward, scoring forward. He had 33 Sunday. Aaron McMorrin.
I was about to bring him up. Love him.
Maybe the as good of a shooter as we had at the camp.
The lefty.
And with NBA range that won.
He was pulling from deep, wasn't he?
NBA range. And the guy in the name I'd never heard of. Desert Pines.
And he got an attitude, too.
And he's a very good student. 3.7 GPA.
Nasty out there on the court.
Yeah, guys get frustrated trying to guard him.
And also, we had a kid from Idaho, Aiden Kendrick, A student. Nice, smooth wing. Played hard through contact. I think he's a football player, too. Kind of plays like a football player. And some other good young talent, too.
How did you two like Noah Grossman?
Oh.
He had a hop.
Bishop Gorman. He played well.
6'4". His
Bishop
father's
Gorman
the assistant AD at UNLV, sports information director at UNLV. He was agile, shoots it, get to the basket, athletic.
Very active.
Like a Rex Chapman type, guard or Reed Shepherd type guard. And the list goes on and on. I mean, Kanoa Patton, also the one guy who was not there Sunday, who might have as much upside as anybody, was our guy from Long Beach Poly, Jacoby Owari, who's, I think, could have a similar ascent to another former Long Beach Poly player, currently with the Denver Nuggets, Peyton Watson.
Okay.
And probably as good, if not better, at the same stage as Peyton. Jacoby's older brother, Jonas, is an Ivy League recruit, 6'9". If he gets anywhere near his brother's height at 6'9", you combine that with that perimeter skill he has, the ability to shoot the three, the ability to ball handle, to create his own shot. He's also, like his brother, an outstanding student at 4.2 GPA. Obviously, it doesn't hurt that their mom is a teacher at Long Beach City College, Janet.
Well, Miles Cooper played well in the top 60 game.
Yeah, and Miles Cooper, we elevated to the top game. He's also one of the top scorers in the camp.
A lot of people like his pace. And then you had go ahead, Ronnie. What were you about to say?
Yeah, he got elevated, and so did Chase Patterson.
About to bring him up.
He was the one who did the best in both games. He was one of the leading scorers in both games.
St. John Bosco, son of Andre Patterson, played at UCLA and Tennessee. And if Chase grows, Dad is 6'7", 6'8", he's going to be a problem.
And his grandfather played at New Mexico State, Andre Patterson Sr.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't know.
I put him on the highlights on TikTok. They were like, man, yeah, he saw that. He saw it?
You're just now telling me that?
I thought I'd been my fault. What about Tony Parker's son? He surprised everybody.
Yeah,
Carter had some great games.
Yeah, Carter Parker, he's coming up, finally getting motivated. He's always had an energy problem in my book.
Mm-hmm. He was always
but shot it well. His athleticism is emerging. I kind of compare him personality-wise to Sleepy Floyd. So from now on, I'm calling him, we're changing his name from Carter Parker to Sleepy Parker.
Hey, he had 3 dunks.
Lefty.
He had 32 points, 20 in the second half. He had 3 dunks and blocked somebody's dunk, too. I'm like, look at Carter. I'm proud of him. Go ahead.
He's always very quiet, very sleepy. But after this camp, you felt, you could sense the shift in his attitude now. He was bugging me for video highlights for the last 3 days. So the light bulb has turned on for him. And a little bit of Anthony Peeler combined with a Sleepy Floyd mentality.
Okay.
Sleepy Floyd obviously can go off at any time, and Parker did go off. So it's good to see him he's always around working on his game. You know, we've known him for a long, long time, probably since he could dribble the basketball.
Yeah, since he
And,
was
uh,
young.
And it's kind of hard to kind of gauge sometimes because I have had the opportunity to coach him on my Belmont.
When he's young, he played up against
And
the older guys.
sometimes I'm not sure if my words are resonating with him. It seems like he's
Sure.
kind of like a sponge rather than a rebounding.
reactive.
He doesn't
Yeah,
react. Maybe
Dinos wants him to react, and he
I
just
wonder-
takes it. You know.
takes
he,
the
he might take him 2 or 3 games to get it. Huh?
Yeah. So
Another
I mean,
guy from Paul Hernandez's neck of the woods, Anthony Smith, Clovis, 6'4".
Yeah.
Another good-looking wing prospect. Jaden Redding, Pops originally from Long Beach, man. Now in Vegas. Democracy Prep. We talked about the kid from Bronx, the Ronnie you liked. You put him in the top game. Bryce Yancey, athletic guard.
Yeah.
RJ Ball from Beverly Hills High School.
Yeah, I saw him a couple of
6'3".
games. Very shifty, clever.
Yeah.
I like his game.
Also, Jack Lovner from Reardon.
Yeah, he made it to this top 30 game. He was one of the MVPs of the top 30.
And a couple other guards that were worth mentioning that have bright future. Isaiah Williamson from Los Alamitos, brother Isaac, is point guard at UNLV, was on that Eastville Roosevelt team that were state
The one state
champions. Judah Van Ewich, Reardon. I'm mispronouncing that wrong. Another good, young, talented guard. And one of Frank Burleson's favorite Damian players, Joseph Morellis, who plays with a chip on his shoulder, plays a little bit like Steve Carlino. Ronnie, Steve Carlino. He reminded me
Wow,
of Steve.
that's a throwback name
Steve Carlino.
from St. John
Not-
Bosco.
Not Steve Carfino?
And one other kid we have to mention, because he's a athletic energy guy, Kanoa Patton from Corona Centennial.
Mm-hmm.
Also very
Yeah.
good. One of the top
The
guys
lefty?
there. I don't know
Yes.
if he's a lefty, is he?
He might be
might be
ambidextrous, but he's
Okay. I'm thinking of Kai. Kai.
Yeah.
That's Kai. That's Canoa. Is that Kai, the lefty with the bushy hair?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's very active, athletic, too.
And let's go
That's
to
the same guy.
the top 60 game picks. A couple guys there that come to mind. Guy that had a great game, Ronnie, Sunday morning, and looking back on it, what ends up happening sometimes, very often, not sometimes, is we have a very small window to kind of digest and filter all what we've seen for 2 days and come up with an all-star game list within an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And we make some mistakes or we kind of at times miss or have things slip through the cracks. One guy from Oakland Tech, Caleb Fields, had a monster game on Sunday morning and probably should have been in the top game. Very athletic, great defender, but he showed an ability to score on Sunday morning. 6'5", 2028. I like his future. Ronnie, what do you think about Caleb Fields?
Yeah, Caleb Fields did a good job. There was a lot of guys in that second game who could have been, again, I think the top 15 or so guys were kind of locked into that first game, but the guys like 16 to 30, there's a lot that could have been interchangeable. Kawan Johnson from Granada, a little spark plug guard. He was all over the place. Granada of Livermore, 229, he did good. DJ Meekins, who's the father of Donnell Meekins, a former Westchester player.
Son.
Mayfair. Son. Did I say his brother?
Father.
His son.
He looks old enough to be a father. How big he is already.
Oh, man.
DJ is the son.
He was a little kid not too long ago. He was so tiny, all big. He reminds me of Mark Karcher with that frame now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big bull.
He's a John Chaney type player, that's for sure.
He's a John Chaney type. John Chaney would be salivating to get him to.
Yeah, he's a John Chaney type player. It's a father-son combo.
And John Chaney didn't recruit California much, but I have a hard time believing once he put eyes on DJ Meekins, it was a temple priority recruit.
Alonzo Walker from Doherty Valley in San Ramon did well, aggressive.
Deshaun Harris from
good
Democracy
blocker.
Prep, I liked him. Shane Gloger, from the
There's
Glover clan. Uncle Spencer played at UCLA in Princeton. Dad Brad played at Columbia, also very good student. I liked Rhett Sloan from Calvary Chapel, Santa Ana. Big wing, could shoot it. I think, Pat, you had a couple of his games.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we be remiss not to point out the little shooter from Bishop Gorman doesn't look the part. He can fill it up. Dylan Ritchie.
Yeah. And Dylan Ritchie can get up and dunk on you. You be careful. He'll try to dunk on you. You look at him, you're like, he's about 5'8", 5'9". He just
I saw him get up on a couple of layups. I thought he was going to try to dunk it, but he said, "Nah, I'm at least lay it up right now."
Yeah, and he did dunk one. The crowd went ooh and ah in an earlier game. So
also, we had another kid picked for the second game. Unfortunately, he got hurt first game, but still did well enough to deserve some recognition. Noah Ziola, who would have rivaled the kid from Desert Pines, we could have had a 3-point shoot-off. He got banged up from a fall league game, came to camp, and he was not at 100%, and tried his best. He couldn't go past that game. But Noah Ziola, 6'1", 2028, Orange Lutheran, saw him have 10 threes in a game 2 weeks ago at Ron Massey. A couple offers from Santa Barbara.
Oh, yeah, that
High
guy.
Point, Northridge. Yeah, unfortunately, I would have liked to see him go at Anthony McMorrin.
Oh, yeah, he was splashing in the Massey game. I remember that.
He had 10 threes. Also, too, we have to include Jaden White, St. Anthony's, St. John Bosco transfer, a couple of Bella Vista kids, Agir Kier, A.J. Jabate, Tim Rigador. Isaiah Hill is a guy I didn't know too much about. 6'4", Jay Sarah. I have a hard time believing that he can't get playing time there. As good a player as he is. And also, Ronnie, Jaden Howard from Democracy in Las Vegas, Nevada. Made a lot of plays that caught my attention during the camp.
Yeah, Jaden Howard did a good job. Democracy had 3 guys that turned people's heads, as you mentioned, Harris, and from the first game, Jaden Redding, who you mentioned, his father's a Long Beach native.
Football wide receiver.
Again, they did a great job. Again, we had about 15 to 20 guys that could have been interchangeable from the second game to the first game. Obviously, I think the first 10 of 15 guys in that first game, which was PJ Parker, those guys we mentioned at the top of the segment, they were head and shoulders above. And I want to give a credit to some of those guys that Quali and Philip Reed, who balanced playing in their fall league game and coming to the camp. That's what you want to see. You want to see guys that compete. I know Quali had a game after the camp was over, later that Sunday night. So, it's easy for guys to say, you know what, I'm going to sit it out, or I'm not going to, I'll try it next time, or I'm going to go to I'll go to another event. But you want to give guys a credit for who come to compete and play. And like I said at the top of the segment, we have an idea of some of them, what their game is like, or we've seen them before. And Dino's going back to their All-Euro camp. That just shows you how good these guys at the top level are, because, we were looking for a great point guard, right, at the All-Euro camp, where he was from France, Greece, Sweden, Athens. We're saying, there's a lot of wings, there's some size. That shows you, Pat, I think, how good some of these guards we've been blessed to see over the years are. It's not easy to find a good guard. You scour the countries, you scour. So when you
Philip
see, like
Reed's
you mentioned,
a prime example. And what I talked about earlier, I'm looking at his All-Star game stats. He came off the gates, 2 big buckets.
He had the first 5 points.
Didn't waste any minutes.
Fill him up, Reed.
He let it know that he was there. First minute of the game, and he finished
he had
4.
the first 5
He
points.
finished 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from the 3. He had 7 rebounds as a point guard, 14 points, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, and really impressive 5 steals.
Oh, yeah.
And 2 blocks in 16-plus minutes.
You see, that's that anticipation you was talking about.
His anticipation off the charts. One other guard before we conclude here. Terry Tucker, our good friend in San Diego, down there from former
the Border Boys.
The Border Boys.
And I wanted to mention
military vet there, has a good one. And freshman Joel Richard Jones out of Foothills Christian. He's got a lot of potential. And as we know, our boy Tucker, he's high on guards and the salsa down there San Diego.
And another guard I want to mention, I'm looking for big things for his sophomore transfer from Lakewood over to Marina, Colton Willis. He got a lot of run
played
as a
well.
freshman last year, so I look for him to be a leader for Marina High School.
That was the recap, Pat, of the All-West Camp, Pangos. First of 4 camps. We're going to recap every camp, post-camp, when it happens, and looking forward to seeing the rest of the talent nationwide.
All right. I'd like to thank our guest, Ronnie Flores from Ball is Life, my co-host, Dinos Trigonis. I'm Patrick Pratt, and this has been the Nothing But Net Hooked on Hoops podcast brought to you by Hoops Flicks Plus. We'll see you next time.